Alright guys, so kind of put together the whole video and I realized I didn't really give you guys an in-depth tour and all the specs of the car yet. So figured we could start with a little cold start here, and you probably just saw the B-roll footage. So after this, we'll go through a nice walk around at the B footage location. Let's go ahead and start it up. Alright, starts up nice and easy. Turn the music off so I don't get copyrighted. So we got brake lights just for the e-brake, SRS from the steering wheel. Looks like that check engine light came back on. It's kind of been coming off and on randomly. That's code 25 for the knock sensors. It's already a thing I know about. The car is running fine, but that wiring harness is definitely deteriorating. I don't think the sensors are actually bad, because the senior tech that I spoke to said that he's never seen a knock sensor itself go bad. So it's most likely the wiring, but I'm pretty sure the wiring is integrated into the harness on these chassis. Most other chassis afterwards, they made it into its own plug-in, but I don't think it is on this one. I think it's integrated, so we'll see. All right, before we even get into things, just listen to this. That thing causes an echo. That's solid. All right guys, so we're just gonna do a quick walk around of the car. I'll try to point out any imperfections, cool stuff along the way. Starting with the exterior, you can see, we talked about this earlier, the only real bad spots, like real bad spots on the paint, is the hood right there. It's faded, and here where the guy had some bigger wheels that he was trying to run and kind of bowed the fender out a tiny bit. That's hardly noticeable. I can probably tap that back in using a little wood block and a soft hammer, or just a soft hammer itself. I'll probably just leave it alone, to be honest. It's not very noticeable. Car is super dirty. It's exactly the same condition as I bought it. I haven't done anything to it yet besides put gas in it. The rest of the body though is very, very straight. There's a few paint imperfections. Got hot spot right there, looks like from somebody trying to buff it. The clear coat on these is very, very thin. So people that try to use high-speed buffers on them, you're gonna burn through the clear coat fast. You have to do it by hand or very low speed. The only other part of the body that has any real nick in it is that trunk lip right there. It's pretty common on a lot of cars to get a little dent on the lid right there if somebody tried to open it in a spot where it ended up hitting on something or dropped something onto it. But it's not bad, and I don't mind it very much. Other spots, let's see, anything on the side panels, very straight, both sides. I don't really notice any dings, to be honest, like not even, I'm trying to see any right now. I don't see any small dings, even on the doors. Other things on the body, you guys see the wheels. These are an 18-inch TSW wheel. I don't know what the model is. I don't even know what the spec is. I gotta pull them off and see. But they do have some nice Michelin Sport. I think they're Pilot Sport All Season Plus. So they're good tires, and they're new, nice and fresh. What size is he running on here? Or I'm running now, I guess. 225, 45, 18. So I think they're a square setup all around, it looks like. Let's see. 225, 45, yep. So square setup all around. The wheels are okay. They're just whatever, but they're doing the job, and they have nice tires on them. So I'm not in a rush, but eventually I would like to put 17s on it to avoid any type of rubbing in the front. It doesn't rub much at all unless you're doing a really tight turn or you're going on a fast road with a big dip, and even then it barely rubs. My car rubs, the C55 rubs worse in the rear when I'm on the freeway and go over a big bump. Other things exterior, fog lights. I haven't really seen these much on a W124, so I don't know if this is a factory upgrade option or if somebody just customized these in. One of the corner lights looks like it's been replaced. The other one is like probably original and faded. They didn't do a very good job installing this one. They didn't get the rubber trim inside of it, so I'll have to try to mess around with that, or I'll just buy a new pair of matching lenses. They're cheap enough. I don't know if I'll go clear or orange. Maybe clear. Clear might look good, but I kind of like these, the factory with a little bit of orange and a little bit of clear. I can't remember what I used to have in my old 202. I'll have to look at the pictures, but besides that, the grill, somebody tried to paint it and leave, you know, this open spots still silver or chrome, but I would prefer either all black or just putting back to chrome, so I can try to strip that paint off of there, see what kind of condition it's in. If it's good enough to run, then I'll just leave it as is. Otherwise, I'll hit it with a coat of all black. My inspiration for this car, I'm kind of looking at, you know, the hammers, the 500Es, and trying to pick pieces off of them, as well as things that I did to my old 202, because they're very similar body styles, and you can accentuate certain parts of them, make them look pretty good. So I don't really have any big plans to, you know, go crazy with modifying in this car. I'll be, you know, throwing parts at it to get it up to speed, and little upgrades that I can here and there, but I'm not trying to, you know, make a, you know, track car to this like the C55 or anything like that. It's got enough power to be fun as a daily cruiser, and really I just want to kind of bring it back to life and make it look good and have fun with it and learn along the way. Let me go ahead and show you guys the interior, and then we'll hop into the engine bay. I also need a star. You guys can see that missing. Somebody ripped a star off. Mean people. I might go flat badge. I think I have one that might fit here. Otherwise, I'll just grab a new star emblem, the flying star. I kind of started to prefer the flying stars over the flat badges, but we'll see. Okay, one other thing with the car. I only have the one key for the ignition because the key for the ignition was replaced, or the whole ignition tumbler was replaced because it got kind of stuck. So this key is for that. The key for the locks, the guy is trying to find it now. He knows he has it somewhere, so he's trying to find it. So right now I cannot lock the car yet. Otherwise I will be locked out of the car. So just been keeping it at our place and not worrying about locking. I don't really have anything in the car. So anyways, interior is very solid. This door is the only thing I've noticed, like kind of bad broken stuff, besides a couple of things that I'll show you in the interior. I'm not sure what breaks in this, or if it's just separated, or how it's supposed to connect. I think it might just connect with like some double-sided tape here or something. I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with these door cards, but that thing kind of wants to wiggle around when you're pulling the door closed. So I'll try to come up with a fix for that. The seats are like, I don't know, if you told somebody the seats are brand new or like a year old, they'd probably believe you. That's just the quality that was taking place at this period of Mercedes. And one of the big reasons I fell in love with this car is just the solid feel of everything. Back seats are like new. The biggest issue with the interior, you can see the headliner is sagging. There's a couple tricks of the trade I can try with this. Some people try like hitting everything with a heat gun and then basically rolling things out with a paint roller to try to get it to stick again. I don't really know if I want to try that, but I could try it, or you know, I could try to spray some new adhesive into there and try to just get it to stick for now. It is kind of a pain to get it out, but it's not that bad. And once you get it out, I can redo it and have it good for the life of the car. I would redo it in black to match the rest of the interior. So something eventually. It's not really bugging me right now because it's not like ripped or flapping around or anything. It just kind of stays where it's at. So, but definitely something I'll pay attention to in the time forward. Here's a little view of cockpit from the back. I love the Momo wheel, and I love just the fact that it's already done. I think it's a really nice, classy, period correct upgrade for the car. The horn isn't working on it, so I would like to get that working, but it drives really well with the wheel, and they did a clean job on it. It's fairly inconspicuous. It's got these little bolsters, little aftermarket bolsters that go in between the seats, connect onto the seat belt. I am missing this little cover. I think that's a pretty common thing that brakes or whatever for these. I think it's actually like stuck back here, so I'm gonna try to pull it out. But the clasp for it is probably broken. If it's slid all the way back there, the clasp is probably broken. A little bit of cracking, pretty typical on the center console wood, but the upper one's all without cracks. It's got all the buttons. It's got an aftermarket Pioneer unit in it. Shifter's clean. Everything else, all the windows work. Sunroof works flawlessly. Everything is smooth. You can hear the solidity of that German tank right there. Super cool. It has a McLaren of Houston license plate on it. The car, sorry, I haven't even told you guys like details yet. The car has 177,000 miles on it. 5 previous owners that I know of. Most of the Carfax that I ran on it was all from San Francisco. So I'm not sure where the Houston McLaren thing came from. Maybe somebody bought a car from there and they just put that plate on there. I don't know, but I don't think the car ever spent time in Houston that I know of. Very well could have, not sure. Here's a bunch of parts that have been replaced. They had a spark plugs, wires. They were STI or Bremmy. And there's old spark plugs, distributor caps. There's it's like they probably broke the clock spring when they took out the original wheel. I have the original wheel as well at home. Has a new battery. Comes with a lighter. See if it works. Nope, dead. All right. Also has a full-size spare. I think it might be the factory original too. Let me see, pull this out real quick. There it is. It's got a Pirelli tire on it. So, I don't know, you guys let me know. Is that a original? Also has all the factory toolkit. So let me know. And besides that, that's kind of the gist of it. You guys let me know. I'm still very new to the whole W124 game, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on just the car in general. Any knowledge you have to share. Like I'm a learning type of person. You guys know that. I'm a research junkie, so I'll be spending all my time researching on this myself. But anything you guys know of, any recommendations for modifications or maintenance or anything like that, please, I'm all ears. I'm happy to learn and admit my noobness in this chassis. So please share what you guys got. We'll go ahead and end the video here with the engine bay. Let's see. Pop this open. All right. So there is the 4.2 liter M119. I believe it's about 251 cubic inches, 280 some horsepower and torque. I'm not sure. Somewhere around that 285 mark from factory. Things that I love about this car right off the bat, like drivetrain related, it has an oil dipstick. It has an oil pressure gauge. Things are easy to get to. It has an oil pan that can be removed with simple bolts, and it's not underneath a chassis brace or anything like that. There are so many serviceability things that I love about this car already that just make me happy. The spark plugs are on the top of the motor, so you don't have to try to squeeze underneath in between the headers and all that. Like, the M113 is awesome, don't get me wrong. I love the M113. I'm an M113 head, but I am fast becoming an M119 lover, just looking over this car and the way that it drives and how smooth it is. Dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, so much racing pedigree within this engine design. Longtime MB lovers say that this is probably one of the best V8s they ever produced. So I'm a big fan already, and I have a lot to learn still. So I'm excited to do so. Things that I know need to be replaced in here needs either a fix for this little part of the hose or a new expansion tank. The expansion tanks are pretty expensive, actually, like $100. Anything for like the 203s is like $35, but those ones are quite expensive. So if I don't want to pay $100 to get the whole tank replaced, then I'll just come up with a fix. I can put like a copper barb in there. But yeah, it's kind of a cheap fix. I'll probably just get the tank, to be honest. Other things, you guys saw the little code reader right here. Get back on there. The OBD1 port is right there. Washer tank. It does have a new alternator, new distributor caps, plugs and wires. What else? Need to get the AC working. I think it needs to be recharged. It has notes on it we saw when we were doing the checkout of the car. So it says it was charged in August of 2018, but replace dryer expansion. Oh, that's good. So it probably just does need to be recharged, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's there, all there pretty much to play with. These things are still in really good shape. They're not all beat up or like peeling off, so that's cool. Radiator seems to be in good shape. Fans are in good shape. It has aftermarket like xenon headlights or whatever. But yeah, that's the engine bay. Please let me know the things that I do plan on doing eventually. When I do the valve covers, I will swap out for the aluminum cam oiler tubes. I will do the upper chain guides and inspect the chain to make sure, you know, chain doesn't need to be replaced. I've heard a couple tricks on how to do that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And what else? That's pretty much it for now. Good old mono wiper. I love having the single wiper again. I missed that on the 202. And that's about it. All the glass is in good shape. Yeah, so anyways, we'll hop over to the next part of the video. This was the in-depth walk around. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I will definitely get another video coming up with in-depth things, but just want to do this for now. Oh, one other thing for the body exterior. I need to get replacements of these. You can see they're all cracked and kind of stretched to a different shape. So the factory ones are like $100 a piece. So the aftermarket ones seem to do an okay job. They're not exactly the perfect fitment, but they'll do the job, and they're only about $35. So let me know about those as well. If you know another hack for those, let me know. So we'll pause it there and we'll continue on the rest of the video. Well guys, crisis avoided. You know that parking garage we were just at? I was about to start shooting some B-roll footage and the car wouldn't start. Sat there for about 10-15 minutes trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I was on the phone with the insurance ready to get a tow and happened to put the car into neutral and it started right up. Before that, it was in park. I was checking through everything, and no matter what, turned the key on, no crank, zero noise, nothing was happening. The fuel pumps would kick on, everything, lights were working, everything was still working, battery was fine, all that stuff, but it would not crank, it would not start. I was in need of a Father's Day miracle desperately, and I just happened to get one. I'm very thankful. I love you, W124. I still love you, even though you almost didn't start. Woo, that would have been tricky because I was in a tight space in the garage. I don't even think a towing truck would have fit in there. That would have been a hassle and a terrible way to spend this Sunday. So I don't know what is going on there. Neutral safety switch, something, but it happened to start when I switched it into neutral. I'm gonna shut it off right now and let's see if it'll start back up in park. No. Moving into neutral. Let's see. And it starts up. So something's going on there. We need to figure that one out, definitely. To be continued. Life of an old car and bringing it back up to speed.